Around June 15th, I made a decision to switch my backyard from the warm season common Bermuda to a cooler season ryegrass. And here's the reasons why that I chose to do that. Now, once the summer months started kicking in, this backyard really became unusable for us to come out here and enjoy. 100 degrees outside, 2 little kids, there's no pool, trees are surrounding the area. It gets real stagnant back here in the afternoons, and that heat just kind of hangs around. So we were finding ourselves going to family members' pools, friends' pools, local pools, or just staying inside doing indoor activities during that time, just because, you know, the kids are so young that we can't really enjoy this backyard. That being said, I started thinking, man, I'm out here mowing and busting my butt trying to get this backyard looking nice, transitioning over from last year's ryegrass to the Bermuda back here. And I'm like, we're not even back here looking at this. This doesn't even if it looks nice, no one notices because we're not here to look at it. Now, I would only do this to my backyard. If my front yard was like this, then yeah, I'd bust my butt to keep everything nice and green, short looking, clean cut. But like I said, this is the backyard. No one sees it. So I decided right then and there, for the time being, I'm switching this backyard to a ryegrass backyard. Now, like I said, one of the reasons was usability. We used this backyard last year quite a bit, fall, winter, spring. And that was with when we had the Stover Grand Slam perennial rye down on it. We loved it. We enjoyed it. You can run around here barefoot. Everything feels great. It looks great. It stripes well. It's really fun to be out on the lawn. And so we got more use out of the lawn during those times than we did during the summer months. So instead of coming out here and busting my butt through the summer months, I was like, I'm just gonna maintain what's there. I don't wanna just let it go wild. Just maintain what's there. Still treat it like a Bermuda lawn, proper fertilizing, proper mowing, and kind of just use that for more of a weed barrier control until the leaves start falling and we're starting up the season for ryegrass. So that's why I didn't spray out my ryegrass this year, because I needed to know how long will this ryegrass actually go as far as the length of the season here. Now, around middle October last year is whenever I planted the perennial rye, Stover's perennial rye, and it made it all the way till about the end of May. So November, December, January, February, March, April, May. It made it 7 months of actual usable turf with that perennial rye. And if I'm comparing that to my common Bermuda, I think common Bermuda I can get maybe 8, maybe 9 months if I'm lucky. So you're looking at a very similar length for each lawn season. So now that the cooler temperatures have finally moved in, it was 100, almost 100 yesterday, 80 today. I think fall is finally starting to approach. It's time to start getting this backyard ready for the ryegrass over. So last season, if you remember when we were talking about that Stover Grand Slam, I was trying to maintain all of this throughout the summer. When June hit and the summer temperatures started coming in, this went dormant real fast. Also, we came back from vacation and I noticed that my sprinklers right here weren't working because we actually had a sprinkler line that had busted right there. So that may have played a little bit of a factor, but I lost it all. That project did not work for me at all. So we've had a dirt patch in this area since about the middle of June. Obviously the Bermuda doesn't grow very well here. Another thing we have going on, still got a lot of that residual St. Augustine that's crept in. So one thing I can do is I can either spray that out and get that out of the way, or I can just kind of let it do its thing since it goes dormant and the ryegrass takes over anyway. So we'll make a decision on that here pretty soon. Now over here in front of the barn, if you remember, I've had a big nut sedge problem. If you notice, I still have nut sedge, but it's a lot less. I've done one application of the sedge hammer in this whole area and a few other spots across the lawn over there as well. And I've knocked out about 50% of it on one application. Now that the temperatures have finally cooled, yesterday it was almost 100 and today is a high of 80. So I can start applying some herbicides down again. So I'm gonna get another application of sedge hammer to treat this area. This was another area that's heavily shaded, trying to keep the rye. As soon as the summer temps hit, it was like, see ya. And that actually got watered properly. It just couldn't do it. So anyway, we have another dirt spot. So one thing I could do is I could mow it higher. That worked with a tall type fescue, or I could just let it kind of do its thing, and then we'll get the ryegrass back on it. It'll be all the way back to the fence for the winter months, and that'll look just fine. So I'm also going to here pretty soon, as you can see, bunch of weeds. So I've just bought the Ortho hose-in sprayer for weed control, and that'll take care of that. All right, so when the ryegrass started going dormant, there was a lot of spots in the backyard, and basically that's because the ryegrass is there going dormant. Did you sneeze? Yeah. Well, bless you. When the ryegrass started going dormant, it blocked out a lot of the Bermuda from spreading and filling in those spots. And I would say it was almost 2 months before I actually got it to fill back in to start looking more like a Bermuda lawn. And I highly recommend, if you're doing ryegrass in your front yard where it's more visible, and then you're transitioning back to a Bermuda lawn in the spring for summer, you got to spray it out, because your transition time from the point the ryegrass goes dormant to your Bermuda greening up, I mean, like I said, it took me about 2.5 months to even get that looking somewhat back to a Bermuda lawn. So just know that. For the backyard, I don't spray it out because I want my ryegrass to last as long as possible, and then it fills in with the Bermuda later on. Those months get too hot for us to even be back here, so it can look ugly. We just kind of accept it. So anyway, thank you guys for stopping by, and we'll catch you in the next video.